Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. My name is Asa Precious if you're seeing my face for the first time, and I am a YouTuber based in Douala. So I'm starting a new series on my channel called On My Couch, where I'll have random friends come over and just talk about things that matter, or maybe not, maybe things that matter to us. This is going to strictly be our opinions and you are in no way entitled to agree with us. So for my first guest ever on my channel, my friend, my longtime friend, Miles. You want to introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Fence Miles. I'm CTO and co-founder of Zebra Comics.
Yeah, sorry.
So like, that's it, basically.
Yeah. So Miles is my first ever guest. What does it feel like? First ever guest on my channel.
Yeah, it's an honor. It means that matters so much to you. I do not know, you have been hiding it, and so this is a very fine way to expose it and to the global audience anyway.
Yeah, that's serious. But anyways, we are going to be talking about childhood experiences and how or if they affect the decisions that we grow up to make in life. But before we get into serious things, we're going to, for every guest that comes on my channel, we're going to talk about how we met. So how did we meet?
Synagogue College.
Okay. Yeah. We went to school together.
Yeah.
So we've known each other for like what, 15 years?
Is it only 15?
Yeah, 2008.
Okay.
Long time. Yeah,
15 years.
We've known each other for that long. I know that it's been a long time, but what was your first impression about me?
That you talk too much.
Are you serious? Well, that's true. I used to talk.
Yeah,
I used to.
Teach was. Oh, yeah, I want to like squeeze in there.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But that means you just saw me the first time and you're like, Precious talks too much.
Like, God, I cannot. I remember Precious from one. Remember Precious very well.
Do I still talk?
It's much more structured. It's much more.
That time, even when I'm sleeping, they'll write my name for noise making. Like frankly, you write my name, and then when I want to talk, you say, "I knew that when you wake up, you make noise."
Yes.
Yes, I was. But my first impression about you was that. So without talking to you, first thing was you were tall. Miles is very tall. How tall are you?
1.93. Yeah. No, but then I was like short.
But you were taller because they were short me in one word.
Glamour. That's the first thing. When I think about Precious, glamour. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me tell you mine. Intelligence. So yeah, like very, very. Miles is like one of my most intelligent friends. He's so smart. If
Don't
you
exaggerate.
No, you are like very, very intelligent. Every time that I want to have a very deep intellectual conversation, when I'm stressed and things, I know that if I call Miles and we talk for like 30 minutes, it changes the whole narrative. So yeah, Miles is very, very, very intelligent. Very. Just what I was teaching you today, that I learned on Friday in a class that when somebody says you're handsome, you say thank you. When somebody says you're intelligent, when somebody compliments you, don't try to talk it down. Don't try to do, oh, no, this. Say thank you. Appreciate it. Claim it. Speak it into existence. So don't be doing.
Thank you,
oh, no, it's not.
That it's just,
No, it is not just because you cannot see what was told in that class is you cannot see yourself, and people meet you and they know these things about you. You understand? So if somebody says you are intelligent, that's how they see you, based off having conversations with you. So don't try to downplay your potentials or what your word. When somebody says I'm intelligent, you're like, thank you, I know that.
Okay. It's not very bad. It's fine. Thank you.
So that you learn.
I have learned.
Moving forward.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. So without any further ado, let's get right into why we are here. So I sent you a couple of topics to pick from, and you picked childhood experiences and if stroke how they affect our lives later in life and the decisions that we take. And I was asking you why you picked that out of the 4 topics that I sent to you, and you said that because it was something that was quite relatable, right?
Yes.
So,
and I may have like a lot of stuff to
talk about.
Yes.
So let me give you a context of where that came from. So I was scrolling through Twitter. You know, Twitter is my go-to app for everything. In fact, most of the conversations that we'll be having on this series, the context is from somewhere on Twitter. I was going through Twitter and somebody made a tweet about how the environment where you grew up has nothing to do with the decisions that you make later in life. That was the tweet. I thought I had bookmarked it, but I can't find it, so I'm trying to say it as it was. And there was a lot, like it just opened room for a conversation where people were saying, oh no, it does influence how you grew up, no it doesn't. I wrote down a couple of questions that we would use as guide to just have this conversation. And the first one is, how do you feel about where you grew up?
Okay, so in my childhood we used to move a lot actually, and as a result my upbringing, my experience was mostly tied to my home experience rather than my environment.
I think me too.
Because of
we moved.
Yes.
We moved a lot. So I can't say, but I think that one thing that my mother was very intentional about is making sure that even if we moved, the environment was something that she would want her kids to grow in. But a lot of my environmental upbringing was really tied to what was going on at home as opposed to what was outside.
Exactly.
So you definitely have had experiences as a child. And do you think that these experiences influence you and how you make decisions today?
Yes. Yes. The short answer is
all of it. All of your experiences.
Most of them. Because it's
positively or negatively?
Positively, because
that's good.
The fact that my mother was a housewife, she was disciplinarian, she was very strict, so it affected the choice of my friends.
Yeah.
It affected the kinds of things I could do, and her presence was, she's a loving mother, but her presence was felt, and then I'm really seeing images of lashing.
I know. I think Maz and I can relate a lot when it comes to like our mothers. I didn't have my dad a lot growing up, but with my mother, like, she did an amazing job. I always say that I think looking at people like, no, you're raised well. Yeah, you can say that you're raised well, but and it's good that your experiences actually influence you positively, because one of the things that made me want to have this conversation is that a lot of times when you hear people talk about their experiences, their childhood experiences, and how it's affecting the decisions that they make today, it's always negative. So it's always, I smoke because I grew up in a house where my dad used to smoke. You hardly have people that, oh, I'm an arm robber because I grew up in an environment where there were a lot of, I'm a banger smoker because the environment I grew up in. Like, you hardly have people who honestly say, you know what, my childhood experiences were positive, and I am like this because again, I think that your childhood experiences can affect decisions that you make, but I think it's to a certain extent.
I even have an anecdote when we're talking about it, like this is like a clear case. Personally, my dad he smokes, but now what?
I was going to say that too. It's okay. Continue.
Okay. So my dad smokes, but my mother, because she does not like it, she actually took. I remember there was these flyers that the Ministry of Health used to pass around with two lungs, a big lung and a darkened lung, and she used to say, she brought it in front of me and said, you see this lung? This lung is pink, like these are those guys that don't smoke. This your father yes. And you don't want to have this, and they had done it. It's a caricature. So the person that was smoking had fat lips and definitely I don't want to look like that. So today I've grown up. because my father smoked, I don't smoke.
So that's something that I was going to use as an example, that when people say, oh, I smoke because my dad smoked, I'm like, my dad used to smoke.
Yes, exactly. And your dad too?
Yes!
Oh, man.
Yes!
Okay.
I mean, I saw the effects on him up until he passed. So that wasn't something that looked exciting. And I'm saying, oh, I grew up seeing this person smoke. And instead of saying, oh, I smoke because, I can say I don't want to do this because I've seen the effects and it's not healthy. So that's what I was going to go to. Like when people say their childhood experiences influence them, especially negatively. I get it. I get that you've had experiences that are hard and difficult, because I have things that affect me today negatively. We're going to talk about that. But when you get to a certain age, you need to be held accountable for the decisions that you make. You need to be able to hold yourself accountable for the things that you're taking as decisions. So, oh, I grew up and I saw my elder brother smoke banger. Is this what I want to do? Because you've seen the effect. At 21, right now, Cameroon puts this cigarette thing that smoking kills and all. So if you're smoking now, you can't say it's based off what you experienced or what you saw growing up, because you can tell at this point that this thing is wrong and this is what it's going to do. You get? Okay. So you can actually, I feel that it's like to a certain extent, your childhood experiences can influence you, but the older you get, I think you should be able to hold yourself accountable and say, this thing was negative, I saw it, and I'm not going to do it.
I think that the way you are giving power to somebody who thought is a victim of the circumstances that surrounds his childhood, by saying that you have the choice, you have the willpower to decide that, okay, despite the fact that I saw this being done this way, I could also assess that it's negative, it had a negative impact in my life, in my family. I should not turn out to be this same person. And you decide, so it's power, the power is back to you, it's back in your hands for you to decide a different path that you want for your own life. So that is the way I'm saying. So because a lot of people, as you were saying, they'll be like the thing that it's like they're kind. Like, it's because of no.
I think
in as much as it is, you have the point of this discussion is to tell you wherever you are that you have the ability to step back.
So I think it has a lot to do with reassessment. I have something that I know that I'm not going to talk about it, but I know that it's something that influenced my life negatively based off, I know we've had this conversation, so you know what I'm talking about, but, and I've told my mom before, based off something that I saw or something that I experienced as a child, right? And initially when I was growing up, I didn't really think about it as something negative. I just felt like this is my way. That was it for me. It was like, this is my way. But then I got to certain points where I had to have an honest conversation with myself. And when you have that honest conversation, I think it's realization that, you know what, this thing is actually, because you start to interact with people and you see this thing play and you know where it's coming from, because I knew where mine was coming from. So every time it comes up, I know the problem and I know where the problem is coming from. But I wasn't really overthinking it, like, is it a problem? So I had to have a conversation with myself where I reassessed and I said, oh, I know that this is a problem, and do I want to, I had two questions. So am I going to continue to let this thing affect me negatively, or can I break the ice now and start a new page and get better from here? Because obviously your life is your life.
Yes.
So whatever, it's always a very difficult conversation to have with yourself, but it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. I feel like we can be a generation when the era of unlearning nonsense, that I'm like this because it's just excuses to get away with a lot of bad things. You can actually let those things slide, and just do better. Share a positive childhood experience that you really remember and you hold on to.
Okay, my dad introduced me to painting. And
that's nice.
My dad he was very open in the interest of the child. Whatever you touch, as he just notices that you have your attention towards something, he provides maybe the little tools necessary for you to explore it. So I used to paint. And today, I am co-founder of a comic book publishing company that distributes. So you can imagine the impact.
Please,
I don't draw.
Let's add that.
Yes.
Really nice to see how far you guys have gone. Zebra Comics is a comic writing.
Yes, we create and distribute digital comics.
Yeah, you should check them out.
Yes.
They're doing really good, really good. My friend is traveling the world, doing great things. Yeah,
so yes, I link it to the fact that to the interest of art then. But today it's true that I became an engineer, which is really the opposite side of the artistic, but that has played the role of making me being the technical officer in Zebra Comics. So that's where the engineering, has played its role. But the artistic side has given me the possibility to actually be there. So it's that duality. And it's something that
came up from your childhood.
And
it's such a positive thing.
Yeah.
You could go back in time to your childhood. What is one thing that you would change?
What is one thing I would change? That change. That's actually I'm trying to shoot.
But if there's nothing, it's good. Because what happens is that everything, so for me, there's something that I would want to change, but I am more grateful than I want to complain. Because I've seen people, and the older, when I was growing up, I didn't understand how much of a good job my parents were doing with raising me. And then you now grow up and you meet other people and you are so proud. Like so in as much as the things that I would want to change, they come nothing close to the things that I was able to get. And that's for me, it's more every sadness, every hard time, every moment where I was overthinking, for me, everything I think is just leading up to God wanted me to experience everything that I experienced, whether the good, the bad, to just get to this point and to even get to where He's taking me. So for me, it's a lot more. I don't want to change anything from my childhood.
While you're talking, I'm thinking sometimes when you're trying to avoid a lot of regrets, if you're trying to avoid regrets, you have to do what you feel you should do at that moment. And when you do it, you will feel that everything that you did before makes sense for you to get the position.
And where you are.
Exactly that you are. Because when I'm still trying to figure out how to answer the question that you asked about, is there something in my childhood that I want to change? I'm looking and I can't find. I feel like all what I did, the bad, the good, everything led to me being
the person that you are
right now. And I think that because I was like, okay, but why is it the case? Why with the social, in my mind I was like, why is it the case? Why do I? And I'm like, it's because I had previously set an objective, a path for myself. Because there are so many routes, I set a path for myself and I say, what do I need to do to get there? And I've been doing it now.
Right.
So I feel like whatever I was doing led me to be in this position to even assess and then choose that path so that so it goes back to answering your question that I don't think I would want to
change anything. Miles overthinks everything.
This is
Miles overthinks everything. So for Miles to just say I don't regret anything, he has to give us lecture. But I don't regret anything. It's not a good enough answer.
No, it is not a good enough. Yeah. More context, more than you understand.
You understand.
Yes.
I think for me, one of the reasons why it was important when you picked this, it felt like a good conversation to have with you, is the fact that we have spoken a lot about our travel.
Yes.
And one thing for us that stands out is that we have a lot of positive things that have influenced our lives. Of course, we've had hard times. I have had hard times, Miles, we've spoken.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, but we just overlook all of the negative and focus more on the positive, and it just brings us to the fact that it's true that your childhood experiences, like we've shared, at that smoke. Unfortunately for me, my dad passed 5 years ago. So, and I know that cigarettes played a role in that. But, because I grew up and I saw him smoke and I saw the effect, I said to myself, I don't want to be this person. So that's it for us. If you don't let the experiences, we understand your experiences and how it can be tough and it feels like, but there are so many great people who have come out of the worst areas. Like, don't say, I smoke or I do drugs, because I grew up in an environment where drug is very normal. Mm-hmm. You get, and people have come out of those areas and they will say to themselves, I don't want to be this, I want to be better. You get, so don't let the negative experiences, don't dwell too much on the negative experiences. So don't let your childhood experiences take the better part of you. Your negative childhood experiences take the better part of you. It's going to be hard, but you can try and make something good come out of the worst situation. What is one thing that people don't know about you?
Well, they don't know that I don't know how to cook.
Yes.
I don't know how. I have tried.
I am
my mother has forced me. My aunties have forced, my sisters. So I go, I forget. It's strange. I forget. Like I go and I don't know what to do.
Who forgets what they've been taught?
It's I don't.
Maybe you should start looking at YouTube tutorials, or if you call me, I can sort that out for you. That's a small issue.
Yeah, that's the reason why I don't know how to cook. I have advantages like this.
Wow.
When it's a thing,
this is hard. That question is really, really hard, because I've been thinking, even when I asked you and you're answering, I was thinking, like, what is something that people don't know about?
Exactly. Like trying to figure out which one should I
say? Should I expose myself? Yeah, I cannot think of one right now.
Okay.
I can't think of one right now.
Or you are thinking, but you don't want to say because you'll be caught red-handed if this video leaks.
Maybe that could be another conspiracy theory. It works. It works. I will go with that one. The point of this conversation is that you can choose to be a better person.
You can.
Yeah, you can choose to be a better person, regardless of your experiences, your childhood experiences. You can make the decision, conscious decision of being a better person. Because bad things are always going to happen. Even the people that you look and you think, they have bad stories. They have bad childhood experiences too. Everybody has had their own fair share of rainy days, but again, at a point in your life, you'd have to be accountable and you'd have to make the decision to just choose to be a better person over the person that lets negative things influence their lives. Abi?
Yeah.
Thank you for being my first guest.
It
was nice having this conversation with you, and thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. We'd love to read them.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be interactive. Again, like we said, everything here is our opinion, so you have your opinions and we don't mind reading from you. If you have watched to this point, thank you for watching. Please do all that good stuff, like, subscribe, comment, tell them tell them to
Yes,
subscribe.
please like, subscribe, you know, share this to your peers.
Yeah.
So that we can also have like your point of view on what we discuss.
Yeah, don't forget to drop your opinion.
It's a learning experience. So
in the comment section.
From what you will tell us, we will improve what we know.
Yeah, and see you in my next video.